All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome, 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 welcome. We welcome everyone for joining us. We welcome everyone for being with us this Sunday. It is a day that the Lord have made. We will say welcome to everyone in Studio Land, those on TikTok, Facebook, X, those on YouTube, those any platform you are on. We are live. We are live. We welcome you all joining us this evening, and we are going to do a podcast this evening. We have a special guest this evening who is making her appearance as a guest in studio, and we give God the glory that she was able to make it. And tonight we're going to be having a major and serious discussion in reference to education and empowerment, education in our community and empowerment in our community. Again, I'm your host, Dan Oganda, the son of Africa. I'm here with my co-host, Pastor John. Pastor
Yeah.
John, how are
Yes,
you?
I'm good. You can, yeah. We are here once again, and I want to say thank you to the people out there, those that are watching and following.
Yes,
We
yes,
just want to say thank you for all
yes.
your effort. Keep sharing to the family, your friends. Let them come on, connect, and we'll have fun together.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it's
Yeah,
a
we have fun
wonderful
together.
Sunday. Yeah, Deacon, how's your Sunday?
It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. I look up to Sunday every week for the day
Mm,
to come true. It's a beautiful day.
all right.
Yeah, yeah. As I said, ladies and gentlemen, with us on the hot seat today is no other person but Miss Cindy. We welcome her, and she is no other person but an educator. She is within the school system. She is a teacher. She is here with us today to bring light to a couple of things in the educational system
Mhm.
and for us to be able to discuss one or two things in reference to our friends and family and our community as well.
Yeah.
At this point, I would like to call upon Ms. Johnson. Please look into the camera and reintroduce yourself to our audience.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to be here and spending Sunday to learn and to become empowered. Again, I'm Sandy Johnson, and I'm here to just give some information, some knowledge. I'm not an expert, and I just thank God for Pastor John and Daniel giving me this opportunity to talk about some observations that I have regarding our education and parent involvement. So thank you and please show mercy. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you,
Thank
thank you,
you.
thanks. Thanks for being here with us. Thanks for being here with us, and you have to um, be able to have the community at heart to be present among us here this evening, and we thank you for making the time and opportunity to be with us. And to friends and family out there in TV land, thanks for joining us. All those on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, please share. You might learn one or two things today, and in the interest of our community, we will move forward. Pastor John, we are about to start our podcast, and what do you think? Miss
Yeah.
Cindy going to be able to hang in there with us?
Yeah, I can't wait, and I can see she's so excited as well. So, yeah, let's dive into it, right?
Yes, yes.
I know. Well, Ms. Johnson, you are welcome. You are
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you.
We appreciate the time that you make to join us today. You are welcome in studio. It's all about our family. It's all about our children. It's all about our future.
Mhm.
Here at the Journey of the Legendary Gentleman, we bring truth to the table. And with that being said, we go straight into our podcast and our broadcast today. Ms. Cindy, we have a couple of questions for you, and we would
Sure.
like for you to elaborate according to your own knowledge.
Yes.
And we will go straight into our discussion and take it from there. Right, Pastor John?
Yeah.
All right, Miss Cindy, our first question we have for you here today is in reference to resources and disparities. My first question to you is, how do local property tax funding and models create structural disadvantages and advantages in school, predominantly Black neighborhood?
That is a huge question. And unfortunately, I am not in the real estate business from that point of view. I am a closing agent. From what I have gathered, unfortunately, we all may have had some exposure
That's your
or
camera.
experience with the real estate market, whether we're homeowners or whether we are renters. In our experiences as homeowners, oftentimes our properties may be over accessed, or we may be charged inaccurate prices for our property. So it can contribute to less money, less resources that will be utilized for our economic system, which definitely our school system depends on. It depends on revenue from our system. So if we have been given inaccurate information and it is recorded, then unfortunately there could be a deficit from which our schools operate. And unfortunately, our school systems in our neighborhoods have to depend and rely on information that may or may not be as accurate. And so that could assist in creating a deficit for our school systems, and our children definitely have are affected when deficits are created system wide.
So there is thanks a lot, thanks a lot for that response. So there could be a variety. When I say variance, Edina school system could be performing at a different rate, and Anoka County high school could be performing as at a different stage, because the property tax over in Edina, it governs towards the disparities. Maybe they have higher property tax to enable them get good school system, enable them get good teachers. And Anoka County tax system could be a little bit low, and we might end up with a low priority and a low school system. Is that something of a kind?
It could be. It could be. So, unfortunately, again, I am not an assessor nor a real estate person, but it definitely begins in assessment of property value. So,
Okay.
when you have inaccuracy in the beginning, then that is a part of a system that generates information based on inaccurate information and documentation.
Mhm.
So, our neighborhoods suffer, our children suffer because you have information that is not properly assessed.
Mhm.
And if the homeowner does not know that their property value has been overassessed or under taxed, then that creates a problem. That creates inaccurate information. If you don't have the proper information to ask the assessors or the appraisers, so that creates a domino effect, unfortunately, where everyone suffers when
Okay.
information is inaccurately documented in
Okay.
the system.
Okay. Okay. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Pastor John, what do you have to say to that? Because
Yeah,
it
you
seems
know,
like this whole property tax thing contributes towards
to the
how the
schools.
system is set up for education.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it started making sense to me right now
Okay.
because we always say why so and so have a better education system or
Okay.
school
Mhm.
than this area. So we kind of question that all the time. But for example, talking about property tax just opened my mind because when you take, for example, Booking Park,
Uh-huh.
people are most of the people are in apartments, and there's not much of a house and all those things to talk about property tax, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
But if we go to, let's say,
Eden Prairie.
Eden Prairie or some of the Plymouth,
Mhm.
people are in the houses that are very expensive,
Mhm.
so they are paying more of property tax.
Mhm.
So, and if those money are direct to the education system to support all those things, they will get more money to support their education than somebody in a Booking Park.
Okay.
And
Okay.
all those will reflect on the education
Mhm.
level that the kid are receiving or the environment, everything will reflect based on that. That's what I'm thinking now.
Mhm.
So indirectly, we will not say that it's the system, but is where we find ourselves
Mhm.
and what we are contributing. That's what I'm thinking right now.
Okay.
I don't know about
Yeah,
you.
no. Thanks for
Access to resources, knowing how to access resources,
Yeah.
and also knowing the allocation of resources.
Okay.
You have to know how to access resources, know what is owed to you as a homeowner,
Mhm.
and also realize that the people that you have in power, your local
legislatives.
government legislators, it's important that you voice your opinion or you voice your concerns before that person is in power. So this
Yeah.
is why it's so important for everyone to participate in elections.
That's something we mentioned last
So
week.
we'll talk about that later, but it's very important
Yeah.
to have your voice heard early on so people can know what is important to
Yeah.
you, so it can be a priority not only to you as an individual but your entire neighborhood and your environment benefits when everyone is informed and active.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the journey of the legendary gentleman. On this platform, on this podcast, we bring two to the table and informative information to our people out there. With us today is no other person but Miss Cindy Johnson. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you.
Pastor John,
Yeah.
we're going to move on to our next question we have for our sister here with us. Now, with you being in the school system, with you being an educator, I have a question here for you. Curriculum and representation. With curriculum and representation, how does the inclusion or exclusion of Black history in Black history and perspective in K to 12th grade curriculum impact student engagement and identity?
That is
The exclusion or inclusion of Black history in the educational system. What do you have to say about that?
I have just something to say about that because that topic is so powerful that it is actually a documentary. That is a
Okay.
documentary level question. The impact of your culture, your history,
Mhm.
your identity,
Yes.
and how you engage with education, how you engage with other people in society. It is a foundational building block
Mhm.
in how you view yourself. And so, in my humble opinion, if you view yourself from a deficit point of view, that you only see people who look like you in oppression, you only exist in two periods of American history, and that's slavery and civil rights, always oppression, then you have a challenge in fitting in with a Eurocentric school system or system period.
Mhm.
It's very important to realize as a African American, a person from the diaspora,
Mhm.
that your history does not begin and end just in America.
Yes.
You have strong roots
Okay.
from the continent. And so to view your culture and history,
Strong roots from the continent of Africa.
strong roots from the continent of Africa.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
As well as the Caribbean.
Mhm.
We have examples of mighty industries, mighty kingdoms, queendoms, way before our appearance here in America, in the Americas. So
Yes.
it's important to see yourself as not just a part of this history, but as a person of world history.
Mhm.
So your culture has to be acknowledged in order for you to see yourself as more than just a student, only seeing people like you in two time periods, in slavery and civil rights. We have so many contributions in this country and from the continent of Africa, as well as the Caribbean, which contributes to our identity. So it's very important for us as African Americans to see our culture way beyond America's point of view. It can be limiting and contributing to a false narrative that basically boxes us in and makes our children think that we have no contribution, that they really don't fit in, and that you only appear for 2 periods of time. And that is not true at all, because then it affects how you engage or disengage in a system that sometimes does not define you in the best light.
That's a tailored answer. I appreciate your answer, we are, it's facts.
Yes.
She stated the facts, and but with her answer,
Mhm.
do you realize that I think our second educational that we brought in here from
Yeah.
St. Cloud State
Mhm.
related to exactly what she said.
Yeah.
And the third person related to exactly what she said, because it's all boiled down to our ability to adapt and readapt and find a way to initiate our cultural existence into the school system, and not forgoing where we've been, where we came from, and just move on with a Eurocentric way of doing things.
Yeah. The question is, how do we do that?
That's what she said. We'll get to that. Legislation. You understand?
Mhm.
Legislation, We have to be able to vote. We have to be able to petition our senators, our governors, our mayor, our representative. We have to be able to petition them and to be able to write something into the system. But till then,
We just follow.
Oh, in addition to following, we could also place demands
Mhm.
on our education system by involving and demanding extracurricular activity and cultural aspects of education within the system.
Mm.
We can make our presence known as parents, as business owners, to say that we would like to have more cultural examples
Mhm.
in the education, in the curriculum, because not only does it inform accuracy for African Americans, it also informs other cultures of their existence and of their priorities, that it lets people know that this is an inclusive society. It will be, because we all are not the same, and we all have an experience that needs to be shared, because it enlightens not only ourselves, but it enlightens other people, to see that we have shared identities and oftentimes shared histories. But you will never know that if you don't see yourself in your history, in your K through 12 examples in the education system.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. K to 12 is my goal, and K to 12 is where we need to start. If we're going to change anything or amend anything, that's where we need to start. Our children. Thank you. 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 We're going to go ahead and move on. Ladies and gentlemen, again, this is the journey of the legendary gentleman. We are here with our sister in studio, and we are broadcasting live on all platforms. Share our podcast, contribute to our podcast. Also, do us a favor and invite your friend, invite your family, join our podcast. If you want to contribute to this podcast and you are out there, you are educational, you're a scientist, you're a doctor, you are a lawyer, and if you want to be part of this podcast, reach out to us. The number to call is 612-272-6758. The number to call again is 612-272-6758. That is if you want to contribute to our podcast and participate in our podcast in studio. But if you want to call in and contribute on the live podcast, our number is 612-556-3503. If you want to call in during the live podcast, our number is 612-556-3503. 03. We'll move on with our podcast today. Um, Ms. Johnson, feel free, relax.
Relax.
Welcome to the studio, and this is your studio, and we don't want for you to be under pressure, under tension, think that you are we are ganging up on you or something like that. Relax, relax, take a deep breath, breathe out. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. All right. I'm gonna throw a wrench into the engine in reference to social media and
What's that? Social media.
the education system. Social media and the educational system.
Yeah.
You are an educator. Do you think social media and all that is bringing have an impact on our children negatively?
That's another big question. I feel that social media definitely has a platform, it has a place for expansion and exposure to cultural, to the world, to your history, to other people's history, just to things that you can just imagine. It has a place and a platform, and definitely allows you to expand your brand and expand your brain. As far as time, I really feel sometimes screen time or time spent on social media could definitely be more structured for our children.
Mhm.
Oftentimes, what I have witnessed is that unfortunately, the iPad or just exposure to screen time has almost become the new pacifier. It takes away, unfortunately, the social interactions that is demanded when it comes to being a parent, a very involved parent, and being an instructor, a teacher. To me, the biggest impact is the brain. Your brain, unfortunately, it's been research done. The brain is actually rewired when there is too much screen time initially for developing brains. And so we would like our children to be exposed to as many things as possible, but we would like that in the natural form.
Mhm.
And we would like interaction, engagement with society, person to person. There unfortunately are children who spend a lot of time on the screen, and they are challenged when it comes to social interaction because they have had limited interactions positively with just regular humans, just your regular parents. It's like just having a regular conversation with an adult or even knowing how to interact with other children. It has become challenging for some students, for some children, that it can be limiting. Social
Yes.
media, unfortunately, can be limiting to the person that you can fully become. So
Pastor John?
Yeah. Yeah, I think she said it all. We need more control when it comes to social media.
more
They get,
structure.
more
Mhm.
structure. It can be good and bad at the same time, depending on how you use it or how you take advantage of it. So now it become a parent, as a parent, it become our responsibility to keep track and control how long they are spending on those tablets.
And what?
What are they using for? So is it benefiting them or not? Right? So all those things will come back to the parent as a responsibility, and to help the kid have time also to go out and play together, right? Have time with them. So once everything gets structured, I think social media is not that bad. Yeah.
Structure, implementation of structure, and not a free will on social media.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
yes.
it become like a new babysitter. In today's world, social media become like a new babysitter.
Yes.
That, oh, you don't want the kid to give you hard time or this and that. Oh, because he or she's calling you too much, need your attention too much. You need to focus on other things. So just turn on the TV or give the iPad, and they are busy, and that's it. So many of the parents, as long as they are not they are not bothered by the kid, and they have their time to do their own thing,
Mhm.
they are fine. They don't care about what the child is watching or not, you know.
Mhm.
So that's when it become an issue, because by the time they try to correct that behavior,
Uh-huh.
it's too late, because the kid is already used to it, used to spend his own time or full day on the iPad. So the time that you realize and say you're trying to socialize with your kid, now he's no longer at the point where he's like, I don't need you.
Mhm.
You know, he have a friends that he can connect online, play games, talk to them online, and he feel better about that than talking to you in the house.
Mhm.
So everything will be back to control and structure as a parent.
That's good. That's good. Thanks a
Yeah.
lot. Thanks a lot.
I'm sorry, I
Mrs.
have something else to add.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm not a parent, but what I do know about parenting, it is a sacrifice.
Yeah.
It is a sacrifice of your time, your resources, and your energy. And it's not easy,
Hmm.
but it is a sacrifice for you to pour into your child. It's just takes more than biology to be a parent, as real parents know.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to sacrifice often. And
Yes.
so that is important from what I, have gathered. You have to sacrifice to be a very involved parent.
Parents, yeah.
Very involved parent. That's VIP.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Parents out there, I hope you guys are listening, because um, we are in the modern world. This is the 21st century, and it seems like we have to go back to those days. We have to go back to those days that our parents used to tell us or advise us that it takes a village.
Raise a
It
child.
takes a village. With that being said, we'll move on to our next question, in which is Miss Cindy. I know we got a lot of questions for you, but we're discussing education, and there's a lot of question here for you. But you being an educator, I'm going to ask you this, right? I was doing while we were getting ready for this podcast, I was doing some research, and in some country, as of today's date, from first grade to 12th grade, they are now binding. No longer is a student allowed to come on campus with phone and walk into the classroom with their phones. All phones are to be relinquished in the locker room till class is over. When class is over, you can go to your locker and get your phone. Now, do you think that implementing such a culture will boost or increase the children or your child vitality in the classroom? Do you think here in America?
That is interesting. I can see phone restrictions. I definitely see that as that's a part of classroom management.
Mhm.
How can an instructor be accountable for presenting information if half of your student body is preoccupied with whatever device they have? So I see that as being very beneficial to have classroom management, respect, accountability, and structure. Parents send their children to school for education and experience. If you did not want your child to be educated and just wanted your child to be on a device, then you could keep them at home. But we send people to school to learn and be taught new information. So that is very important to maintain your classroom with having accountability and structure. And to me, it should be mandated that no phones until after school unless it's an emergency, and that the instructor should have access to a telephone in their classroom. So in the event of an emergency, they're able to access the office. And most of the time, there is always all instructors have a walkie. And so it's like if I'm having a problem, I can say, Pastor John, go for Pastor John. Please come to Sandy's classroom need assistance. Pastor John is like, go for Sandy. And so I'll receive assistance. But yes, that should be mandated. It should be mandatory. And I think it is. That
I think so
no
too.
phone.
I think so too. What do you think, Pastor John?
I think that's something that we don't even need to question that. You see, when we go to our workplace, they want you to make number. They want you to be productive. What they do? They say no cell phone on production floor.
Production floor.
Why? They want you to be productive.
Focus.
Yeah. So you have the phone number on the floor, and that's the emergency number you give to your family. Anything, they'll call that number and they'll reach out to you. Oh, your mom is calling. Oh, somebody wanted to talk to you.
Yeah.
Right? So because the businessman want you to be productive as much as at your mass level, you know. So when it comes to the education, anything that will help our kids to be also productive is okay.
Definitely.
And one of that is be away from your phone. You know, as with our age, like for my company, you have to be 18 and above before you start working there. At least you have some control. You can control yourself about when to use phone and not. But they still tell you don't even bring the phone at all. So what about the kid, somebody that's underage that does not even have that type of control?
Correct.
So
Correct.
I think it should be completely banned. No phone, right? No phone.
Yes.
No phone.
You see, all these things in which we are discussing is something in which boils down to what Cindy brought up during the beginning of the podcast. Speak to your legislature, speak to the governor, speak to the representatives, and see which way are they leaning towards. Because I know America is a freedom of speech country. I know we have rights in this country. I know we are home of the brave in this country. I know we are all that. You understand? But when it comes to the education of our children, the educational system of our children, we kind of like becoming so lenient in the educational system that a child will walk into the classroom and someone somehow call her mom or dad from the classroom, telling the mom or the dad that on her cell phone that the teacher is being rude to her, or the teacher have an attitude, or the teacher is this, the teacher is that. How in God's kitchen that a child in my classroom will be on her cell phone talking to her mom, where I'm standing from as a teacher? You know, these are regulatory system or regulatory activities that the schools have to put in place. We have to speak to our legislature. They have to be able to tell us something into the system to regulate these cell phones in school.
Yeah.
You know, a child leave the house, the child is not going to the school to be on a cell phone. You understand? The $10,000 you're paying for a private school, the $20,000 you're paying for a private school, it's not for your child to be on TikTok, you know, during first period. You understand? So we have to be able to do, because if we continue to give these kids the freedom, you understand?
Yeah.
In 10, 15 years from now, we will not have schools.
Yeah.
There will be no schools because as of today, a child can go on the internet and learn everything and go and take a 5th grade, 6th grade test and pass it. You know that, right? So there will come a time with us letting go the freedom or letting go our disciplinary mindset for our children, we might run into issues in the future, right?
But to my knowledge, to that point, to my knowledge, most schools have a no phone policy.
In high school?
Not sure about all high schools, but most of the time, phones are not allowed in the classroom. You can't be on the phone in the classroom. That is an issue. That would be an issue. Yes.
I hope they do that in every school, and from 1st grade to 12th grade. I hope they put that in every school and make it mandatory, make it a law. Like a law with consequences. Make it a law. If you are caught 3 times in class, you are basically been suspended. If you are caught 4 times in class, they give you an NTR, simply means not to return. This case will get serious if they go to school.
So,
Sydney, it just means
yeah.
my disciplinary personality or my disciplinary.
Definitely, no mercy.
Yeah, it's also about the parents. As a parent, your son or your daughter will grab a phone and call you and say, "Oh, I'm in class and teacher is like this, like this, like this." It depends on the way you react, the way you educate your child.
Uh-huh.
That's one of the reasons why she may have or he may have that boldness to call you from class with phone, telling you something that don't even making sense. You know,
And that is not the teacher's fault. That
that's not a
begins
teacher's
where?
fault because
That
teacher is
begins at home.
trying to make you learn,
Mhm.
and because you don't want it,
Mhm.
now you are calling your parent. It's because that person or the child, she or he, trusts the parent
Mhm.
that the parent will react in her or his favor.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Our days, you go to school and they beat you up, you come home, you can't even tell because if you tell, they will ask you, what did you do?
What did you do?
And when you explain, and it is because you did not answer the question, or you did not do homework, or you did not do something, they will beat you again. And the next day, your parent will bring you to the school, present you to the teacher, say, "I'm the mom, I'm the father. Please feel free to
Give him 12.
double it next time, or call me." So you yourself, you know that you have no choice. You have to focus on learning because if you cry, you go home, it will be worse than if you stay at the school. So everything also it goes back to the parents as well.
Discipline.
It
Yeah.
starts at home. You
Exactly.
said the parent. It starts at home. Before the teacher is there to instruct, to present information.
Yes.
The parent is there to support and enforce.
Yes.
The teacher is not there to enforce, to present rules. The teacher is there to present information
Yes.
and instruct.
Mhm.
It is the parent's job to have structure, to have respect before the child
Yes,
goes to school.
to
That's
school.
not the teacher's
Fourth. Yeah.
job to teach your child to be respectful.
Yeah.
That is your job before they get to school.
Yeah. Talking about that, it brings me back to our first thing. We need to remember our culture.
Mhm.
Culture matters because in our culture,
Mhm.
everyone that is older than you to some age is like your parent.
Yes.
Indeed.
Whether
Indeed.
they give birth to you or not,
Indeed.
they carry your name or not,
Mhm.
you see them as your parent,
Correct.
regardless of who they are,
Indeed.
what they are doing, their position doesn't matter. When you see them, you respect them as your parent,
Mhm.
you talk to them as your parent.
As an
But
adult.
this kid, like she just mentioned, they start from home, they don't even respect their own parents at home.
Mhm.
Really. Come on, dad, you can't do that, dad. So they bring the same behavior that into school.
So is that the child's fault or the teacher's fault?
No,
Or
it's the
parent's
teacher is
fault?
not at fault. The whole time up to now, the teacher is not at fault. This is a house issue. It's the parents that I would say still need the work to be done at home, you know.
Very
So,
involved parents.
Yes.
So basically, what you guys are leaning towards is discipline
Start at home.
Structure.
at home.
Respect starts
Discipline
where?
and
Yes.
structure at home. Discipline and structure at home. Ladies and gentlemen,
Respect.
we are coming up to 6:41, and we are live on all platforms. Share our podcast. Contact your friends and family, and be able to contribute to our podcast and be able to subscribe. With us today is no other person but our sister Sydney. Sister Sydney, you're welcome. You're
Sister
welcome.
Sandy. Yeah, thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I could call you Miss Cindy,
You know
but
what?
you know.
You've known me too long. You've known me too long.
All right, we're moving on with our questions in which we have for you. We are moving on to our next question here is teachers diversity. Teachers diversity. How does the presence or lack of Black educators influence the academic success of mentorship for African American youth?
Um, I
Black
can. Okay.
educators.
I can speak personally. I was fortunate to be educated in the South. So I was fortunate enough to have one of my teachers also be my neighbor. So like
Oh.
Pastor John, yes, so that was good and bad.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
my English teacher, Mr. Harris, lived across the street. So one day during dinner, we get a knock. So my uncle goes to open the door and it's Mr. Harris. So I'm like, oh my goodness. To me, it had been a good day. I don't remember anything happening that was negative that day. But evidently, Mr. Harris did not like some people I was talking to. So he proceeds to let my aunt and uncle know at the dinner table that he would rather I not have lunch with these particular people anymore. And I'm thinking, what? Nothing happened. What are you talking about? Why are you doing this? So I give that example to say, not only was Mr. Harris my English instructor, who guided me when I felt, that I can't do something, I didn't understand, blah, blah, blah. He was like, you can do it and you will do it. Mr. Harris was also invested in me as a person. When he came across the street and came into our house to let my aunt and uncle know that he did not appreciate some people I was just talking to. In my opinion, I was only in 7th grade. Nothing had happened. We had just, hanging out in the school.
Yeah.
But Mr. Harris must have seen something in them that I did not see or recognize.
Yeah.
So I say that to say, when you have someone who looks like you, they are able to identify with you and able to see things in your future that you may not be able to see because you haven't lived that long. They care about you beyond the classroom. So this is why it's so important to have instructors that are able to identify with you, not only as a student who you will be done with them at 3:00, but also as a person, because you never get done with them, because this person is not only your student, they are also your neighbor. They are also your daughter. They are also your grandchild. So you are invested in them and in their future beyond 8 to 3 and 9 to 5. So you want only the best for them, and you're willing to relinquish your role as an instructor, because your role as an instructor or teacher will come and go. At the end of 7th grade, I'm done. I won't see Mr. Harris anymore.
Yeah.
So I think. But because Mr. Harris lives in my neighborhood, Mr. Harris is my neighbor. So I have to toe the line. So having an instructor who is invested in you as a person has a great deal of impact on your life beyond your grade and beyond school. And John Hopkins did a study, they did research that showed even for Black males, having one Black instructor in elementary had a impact on whether or not you graduated high school.
Wow.
That was John Hopkins quite some time ago. So I just had to give that story about Mr. Harris and him coming over during dinner to show the relationship that a Black instructor has on someone who looks like them, that you are beyond a student, you're more than a student, you are a member of my community and you're a member of my family. So I'm invested in you as a person and in your future, because we are linked.
Yeah.
We are linked.
Yeah. This makes sense, It keeps taking me back to the business. When you go to a job place, most of the African American or our people, they love to work second shifts. Most of them, they work second shift. If you go to second shift leadership, you see more Black people. And if it comes to first shift, most of American people, Native American, white people, they like to work first shift. If you go to first shift in the leadership, you see more white people.
Okay.
So it's because they know that will affect the people that are working. Right? If I go to my people and ask them to do things, it's more easier, and they do it out of love. You know, they do it out of love.
Commitment.
Like some of the department, they have to make mandatory for people to work Saturday, Sunday. Mine is voluntary. People just come and work.
Yeah.
And they say, we will do. They will be like, "Oh, I'm doing this for you, okay?" I say, "Yeah, thank you." And guess what? I did know I was not able to make it to work one of the week, and one of these guys that was covering for me went, and nobody want to come. And I came back on Thursday and I asked them, and the whole line signed up for it. And he's like, "What did you do?" I said, "Nothing. I just asked them." Okay. So they in business, they understand this. So when they are making this decision, everything, they try to miss the culture depending on how many people are in this department, how many people is there and there. So they kind of play around with that. So if you come to education, I think that also makes sense, having Black people in some of the schools that have more Black kids will also help a lot, because the way we see our kid, we will see them more as our son and not just as a student, or not me working to get paid. No, I will also care about their future as the way I will care for my own son. So it makes a lot of sense. What you just said.
Indeed.
It makes a lot of sense.
It's true. It's true. It's true. It's a tough place to be.
Yeah.
Good and bad.
With us being here in America, that's where I hold the HBCU accountable, and still hold them accountable for their performance in reference to introducing Black educators into the schooling system. Now, with that being said, could it have been better, or could it have been something supportive or progressive that the HBCU system or organization lean towards pushing towards more Black men and women coming out as educators than coming out as doctors, nurses, engineer, physicists, to enable them build a culture that have a full dimension of left and right. Because the system right now, if you do if you do an analysis right now into the educational system, let's start with Minnesota, right? You will find out that majority of the educators in the state of Minnesota are white. Minority of the educators in the state of Minnesota are Black. You understand?
Yeah.
It's almost a 70-30 position. You understand? We don't have that much Black educators here. I've visited University of Minnesota. I've visited St. Cloud State. I've visited McKellar State University. I don't see that much Black professors running around. You understand? So could we, in the HBCU, could we create something that will create like a compositional package for those who want to go and do doctorate, for them to say, okay, we know you want to be a doctor, but can you lean towards teaching in Coon Rapids High School for 2 years, but we'll give you this severance package just to influence our children? Could we start doing something like that as Blacks? What do you think? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
You are our guest.
I am. So I feel that even though HBCUs have historically overproduced their share of educators, it is still up to the individual school systems to recruit, hire, and retain Black professionals. It is not the HBCU's responsibility. Their heavy lifting has been done by enrolling, educating, and graduating
Mhm.
people who have decided and sacrificed to become an educator, because unfortunately, education is not as valued in this
That's what I want to
society.
mention.
It is not, and it is not as compensated as other fields.
Exactly.
And so we are fortunate to have a organization here called Black Men Teach. And so Black Men Teach is a nonprofit ran by a Black man who is an educator to do exactly what you're talking about, which is to increase the presence of Black men in the classrooms, primarily in Minnesota, because and just everywhere, because it does make a difference to see a Black male in a classroom, not only for another Black male,
Mhm. Mhm.
but for other cultures to see, hey, Black males can do more than stand on a stage for entertainment or run, catch, or
play
throw
basket.
a ball. So it is good for all cultures to see Black men
Mhm.
teach.
Yeah.
And not just be the physical education teacher
Mhm.
or the person that you go to when you're having um, discipline problems or
Mhm.
after school problems. So
Mhm.
you go see, Mr. Dan because he's the disciplinarian. No, Mr. Dan can also be the English teacher like Mr. Harris.
Mhm.
He can also be the science teacher like Pastor John. So it is good for everyone to see a Black male in a classroom.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate that, Pastor John.
Yeah, I will add to that. She just speak my mind because there are some of the jobs that is like a sacrifice,
Mhm.
It
and the
indeed.
teaching is one of them.
Mhm.
You know, my teacher at the Hennepin Tech,
Mhm.
that guy, I was like, wow. Companies will call him to come and solve an issue that engineer cannot solve, but he's
Mm.
teaching and he's not even making mm, nothing compared to those engineers.
Mhm.
And he keep teaching and he loves teaching. He said he doesn't want to work in the company.
Mm. It's a sacrifice.
Yes,
to
they
be-
even proposed to him like manager position. He said no. But he's teaching, even though the compensation is not that much. But generally, we in the Black community, if you
Mhm.
see us going to school,
Mhm.
is for the end big income. So we will not be spending time going to school to become a teacher.
Mhm.
And I noticed this when I joined the army, when I joined the military.
Mhm.
The people that were training, most of them were Black people. But people that they were training were all white. I can count out of my finger how many Black people we were there.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yes, we were less than 20, but we were more, almost like 300 people.
Wow.
That says a lot.
So,
Wow.
so if you see that, tomorrow we'll say, oh, why there is so much white people in the army and no Black people? Even if you take a police, the job is risky and it doesn't pay that well.
Mhm.
So,
But it does. It does.
okay,
So it's a sacrifice. The sacrifice is
Sacrifice.
great. The sacrifice
So-
is great.
many of Black people doesn't want to go there. But when the issues start rising, we start complaining. So the thing is that we have to bring a balance into how should I put it? Every department, every job,
Every
every
level.
area, we should start talking to our kid to get involved and to be part of those things. And that's the only way we can impact and bring changes. But if we are not doing that, and there's only one side that keep going to that area,
Mhm.
we cannot change anything.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
It's interesting because
Wow.
I counter you, Pastor John. Coming from North Carolina, I grew up around a lot of law enforcement
Yes.
as Black men. My
Mhm.
uncle was he started as a cop and he ended his profession as a detective.
Mm.
So we had healthy respect. We had sheriffs in our family. We had sergeants. So we had representation of law enforcement at every level.
Every level.
And so it was no big deal to, go into law enforcement
Yes.
because it is a respected profession. We have education representation at every level, not just in the classroom instructor, but we also have family members in leadership. We have trainers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there is money to be made in education. Not everyone has to stay in the classroom. It is most impactful, but that is where it is important that we can start and teach our children that someone has to be in the classroom, and that's fine if it's you. But if you wish to stay in education, you can also grow in education. You can grow in education because I have plenty of friends who are social workers, who are principals, who are in various stages of education and in various positions of education.
Yeah.
And it's still a sacrifice. I have a friend who's a principal and she spends a lot of time in the classroom.
Yeah.
Just not behind her desk or in meetings doing policies. She is in the classroom. I have gone there for lunch and it's like, oh, Miss So-and-so is in the auditorium. I go there, she's breaking up a fight.
Yeah.
And I was at her graduation at St. Mary's while she's earning certificates to increase her level of education to be a principal and this and that. But she was in the auditorium breaking up a fight. So education is impactful. Being a classroom instructor is very impactful, but there is definitely money and opportunities in education for our children to experience. It is. So our children need to be aware that you can be an educator and you can grow in the education field as a trainer, as an instructor, as a professor, like Mr. Dan.
Yeah, you have to start from somewhere.
You do.
And have an end goal.
Yes.
An end goal. And it's a sacrifice initially. It is.
Yeah.
But with the proper support, with the proper, basically it's support and network, you can thrive. This is why it's so important that we have this organization here, Black Men Teach, because it not only recruits, retains, it supports Black men in the classroom because it's a lot of things that go on in the classrooms in Minnesota that you're going to need support that your education may not cover. So you're going to need support.
Oh, yes.
You're going to need support.
Yes,
And so
yes. Thank you. You guys said it all in reference to education because, I mean, the future is bright, the future is great. And with our youth out there and with our upcoming youth out there, I say to you, yesterday is gone, today is here, and tomorrow is unknown. And with our sister here with us, Miss Cindy, parents, we have to make the sacrifice. We have to make the sacrifice. We have to be able to self-include ourselves into the system. We cannot climb the highest tree and sit on the branches and want to eat the fruits on the ground. We cannot do that. We have to be standing on the ground. We have to bend over and pick up the fruit on the ground because all the fruits on the tree is on the floor. So we have to be able to pick it up, wash it, and eat it. We cannot climb on the highest tree and say, okay, I'm the Jordan. I'm the Joe Flacco. And then the classrooms are running empty. You understand? So we have to be able to make the sacrifice and enable us tailor our professionalism into the classroom to help our children. To help our children. We cannot wake up in the morning and say, you have to be a pilot. You have to be a pilot. You have to be a pilot. And then tomorrow we start complaining, why didn't your teacher teach you? Oh, you told him he have to be a pilot. You didn't tell him he have to be a teacher. You didn't tell him he have to be a teacher to help the society or the community. You did not tell him to be a teacher that another Black kid will be able to see a Black teacher in the classroom and have influence over that Black kid.
Yeah.
You didn't tell him that. Miss Cindy, we will figure out time to re-invite you here in our podcast for the second time. You have a lot of impactful information for us. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the journey of the legendary gentleman. Miss Cindy, keep going back to this organization called Black Men Teach. I'm going to do my homework and research, see if I can reach out to the organizers and see if I can get one person from there to come and speak to the general public and our audience to bring truth to the table. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the journey of the legendary gentleman. We are live, and we're here with no other person than Miss Cindy. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks for all that you are doing so far. In a few minutes from now, we'll be letting you take your exit. But I have one more question for you before we can get to that. When it comes to advanced program access, advanced programs access, what barrier prevents equitable enrollment of Black students in advanced placement, gifted, and honor program? What barrier is there preventing Black students from enrolling in this program?
That again is a big answer. I'll only just give my opinion.
Yeah, so your opinion.
For to be referred to the gifted and talented programs in school, it mainly takes the recommendation of a teacher.
Mhm.
So
We are going back to the teacher again.
to the teacher, and sometimes it can be subjective. Whether or not, let's say, Pastor John has a good relationship with Mr. Dan,
Mhm.
or a bad relationship with Mr. or no relationship with Mr. Dan.
Mhm.
Oftentimes, unfortunately, I have an example of a young lady
Mhm.
who her grades were just unbelievable. Her entire career from K through 12, she had always been an AB student, and her high school still, they were reluctant in referring her to AP classes.
Mhm.
So even unfortunately, these things happen, even though the student is presenting themselves as a viable candidate.
Mhm.
If you don't have the support of the administration,
Mhm.
then it won't happen.
Mhm.
So unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but fortunately for that young lady, her family, they advocated for her. Why isn't she in advanced academic program
Mhm.
when it's here available? And she has proven herself down through the years that she would excel. And the school, did not give a good enough answer. So she remained in just regular classrooms. Fortunately for her, she was able to continue to excel, because when you are an excellent student, irregardless of your admittance into a program or not,
Mhm.
you will continue to excel.
Mhm.
Whether someone accepts you
Oh,
or
yeah.
admits you,
Mhm.
if you're a star, it's your job.
Oh, yeah.
Irregardless of where you are, you will shine, whether you're in the basement
Mhm.
or whether you're in the balcony. If
Yeah.
you're a star, you're going to shine. So she continued to shine. She was accepted into a university, into a college on the East Coast, graduated in 4 years, no problem.
Mhm. Wow.
So it's sad but true. In the case of some of our students, even when we present ourselves academically, we may or may not be admitted into AP programs that can enhance our ability and give us a leg up when it comes to college, because some high schools offer so many programs that when you go to college, if that's your desire, you've almost completed your freshman year, because you've had the ability to take courses that prepare you for your freshman year, and you are prepared to excel. So
Yeah.
it's important for parents, again, parents or whoever the adult is in your child's life, to be very involved and take advantage of the resources that the school has, and advocate. Do not be afraid of presenting yourself before there's a problem. You say, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Principal, my child is an excellent student, and what programs are here to continue to enhance their ability to be an excellent student? I would like for them to participate. So don't always wait for an invitation. You make the invitation. You extend yourself because you are a very involved parent and you only want the best for your child at all levels. And so it's your job to make sure you do the research and make sure that your child is in any program that's available, in every program that's available, whether it's at the school, whether it's in community education, or whether it's at a park and rec. Take full advantage of programming that will enhance your child's education and life experience. Because sometimes extracurricular activities are motivators for education for some children. So
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the journey of the legendary gentleman. We are with Miss Cindy here in studio, and you've been listening to us coming up to an hour, and we appreciate your time and effort. Those who are sharing on Facebook, those who are sharing on TikTok, Instagram, X. We say thanks to everyone for joining us this evening. We appreciate your time and effort. Pastor John, a message to our family out there, and then we will give Miss Cindy 2 minutes to speak to our audience, and we'll call it a day.
It's been a while that we've been saying this to every parent out there, to take serious the education of their child, right? Be more involved, even in making choice for the school, everything, being involved in the education of your child, being involved. Try your best. I know people are busy working, busy. Yeah, make a sacrifice, make time, be involved. Try to know the teachers, know the school, visit times to time, check everything. And I hope the end result will be great. That's
Thank
all I
you.
have for the parents.
Thank you, thank you, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Miss Cindy, you are our guest. We'll give you 2 minutes. Look straight into that camera and speak to the parents out there.
We need you. We need you at the beginning of the school year, like Pastor John said, to introduce yourself to the teachers and to the administration before there is an issue, and even during a challenging time for your child. Let everyone know that you are there to support your child's educational experience so they can have the best experience and they can develop into the best student and person that they can be. And that can only be possible when you are a VIP, and VIP is a very involved parent.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. A VIP is a very involved parent. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from an educator herself, and she's within the school system. She teaches our children. She's educating our children currently. And I hope every parents out there were able to pick one or two things from our podcast today. They keep going back to the roots. Parents' involvement. Parents' involvement. Parents' involvement. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. We'll call it a day. And we look forward to seeing you guys here again at 6 p.m. next Sunday with our honorable guests. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time and effort. Miss Cindy, you made it through our podcast.
I survived.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.